Hello again. So anyways, I'm going to be trying to show you how to beat that early marauder rush because it really does suck to have to fight it off. And let's just look at this. Look at how perfect that split was on the AI. I'm playing against a very hard AI is what I'm doing. And it's Terran, of course, and very hard AI is quite hard. They're as good as some of the very good players out there, or at least definitely low diamond level for sure. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to use the standard Protoss opening. I'm going to go 9 supply into my pylon, 12 into my gateway, 13, or maybe it was 14, but it should be 13 into my gas, and then cybernetics core. Basically, as soon as that gas finishes, you're going to throw 3 probes on there right away, and then you're going to bring a guy out to build your cyber core. That's how that timing works out. It works out quite nicely. I'm still going to scout after my 12th, so let's just speed this up a little bit, get past some of the boring stuff. So basically what's going to happen is I'm playing against a Terran, so pretty much I have to get sentries and stalkers out right away. I'm going to get a sentry out first to make sure I have lots of energy for force fields, especially with the Reaper rush, or the Reaper build time being delayed a bit. You don't really have to get that right away, that stalker, so you can hold off. Now notice I am using my chrono boost to boost up my economy, but I am saving up a little bit because I am going to want some soon. Once I get these buildings up. So notice how I transferred my probes onto there, and then I came down and built the cyber. I probably wasn't looking at the right place, so you probably missed most of it, but oh well. And running my probe away to live another day and sit at the Zelnalga watchtower and watch him come so I can see the makeup of his army when he comes by. So you'll notice the first thing I'm doing is I'm getting out this sentry and I'm chrono boosting it, and then as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to go right into warp gate technology. I got my second gateway down, also got my second assimilator, throwing those probes on there right away, and I supply block myself a little bit, which really does suck. And you really don't want to do. I was wondering why I had too many minerals, and now I know why, because I'd supply blocked myself. That really sucks, and it took me a while to notice too. So I put 2 up just in case. I haven't been building every single second, but I've been pretty close to always building the probes, just like I tell you. And then of course at a certain while, when you're pretty much saturated, you want to hold off for a bit just to make sure you have enough to be able to get out this robotics bay and afford it. So notice I went right into that robo bay around that 30-31. And of course, as soon as I get 4 units out, is basically when warp gate should be done. Notice I had been chrono boosting it because it's very important to get warp gates out. The only time I used chrono boost on anything else was just that first sentry to get out. And so of course, I was scouting, or thanks to my Zelnalga watchtower, I saw that they're bringing marines. That's why I got an extra sentry, even though it probably would have been better stalker. Now notice this is really the only way you can beat that early marauder push. So I'm actually going to slow that down and go back a little bit and just replay that. So right here with the Zelnalga, I saw them coming. I looked down and I said, ooh, marauders, there's quite a few. Okay, so probably 2 sentries is enough. I probably should have just gotten out another stalker rather than 2 more sentries, or 1 stalker and 1 sentry would have been way better, just because the stalkers can deal more damage but more range. And so as you'll notice, I'm waiting for them. I've got my units selected, and force fields go down right at the ramp there. I don't want them to get any sight, because that way they can't attack my units. Of course, my units got in a bit too close, so I tried to back them up. It's hard. And I brought in another sentry because I was thinking force fields, but at that point I probably should have brought in another stalk for the extra damage per second. But I am going to be able to just barely hold this off by warping another stalker. And finally my robo bay is finished, and I'm just waiting for, I guess I was just too busy with the battle. Anyways, I'm going to get that immortal out and chrono boost it. If you know they're doing a lot of marauders, you get out some immortals. This is what I found is the easiest way early on, and I'm getting out that 3rd gateway just to make sure I can get out enough units in time, and because I'm a little worried to fast expand, just because I didn't know at the time if they collected extra resources and would just owe me. But anyways, basically I'm going to fast expand now that I defeated their first push, and I'm starting to get a bit of army out. And again, chrono boosting that and making sure this comes out. One thing I could do a lot better, and you will notice this later, is I could actually keep my immortal in front more. Right here, see I put it in front. I really want to try and keep those immortals in front to take most of the damage, because they do have a lot 300 it takes to kill them, 300 damage. And of course their shields are 100, which can regenerate, compared to something like the stalker, which is a lot more fragile at 80 and 80, or the sentry is even weaker. So I've got that one coming in, making these all, bringing down my natural there, and I'm putting my units out, and of course that Zelnaga is going to be key to making sure that I don't lose anything. So once again, trying to spend my minerals as they come in to bring in units. I noticed I was having a bit of a gas shortage and too many minerals, so what do? You build a couple zealots. Notice I have been building more immortals if you've been looking at the production tab, and of course I'm going to put a couple pylons so that way I can easily warp units into the space to defend it, and also for a bit of vision, and of course supply, because I'm getting really close to being supply blocked. So really I should be putting this immortal in front again. Didn't work out exactly as I planned, but oh well. And of course always bringing in units whenever I can. So notice my mineral count is staying very low. You really have to play very well to be able to beat a Terran player who's doing very good marauder push. So as you can see, now he's starting to get his second expansion, about the same timing that I got mine, and I know I need a lot of gas for getting out like immortals, or just a lot of gas in general. So I'm actually building these gas before the Nexus is fully completed. And I'm going to be transferring some probes just for the gas, because I was about perfectly saturated, so I don't want to bring too many because I was actually at perfect saturation, but I really need that gas, so I'm going to bring some down for a quick boost to gas, and then of course chrono boosting out those workers right away to make this expansion pay off. It's really not worth having that expansion if you're not going to get out a lot of workers. And of course now I'm getting observers, so that way I can go and scout, make sure he's not switching techs, and also if he starts to get ghosts, because ghosts can be very devastating against your army. So as you can see, basically just probes on the production tab right now, as I'm waiting for a few more minerals, probably either for the zealot charge or another immortal. I'm not sure which one. We will find out. Oh, apparently I wasn't saving it up for anything special. So there you go, just warp in a couple more stalkers. Notice I put this pylon a bit forward there to warp in easier. And of course, once again, with the mini-map, I see these marauders. Now it's really retarded, very hard. Well, all the AI basically have map hacks. It's so annoying. I kept trying to cut him off, and he kept going a different way. It was really dumb. So I've also taken this Zelnaga, very important. It's a very good thing for me that he didn't cut. See, look, I'm trying to cut him off over here, and then he changes directions. He's like, oh, I saw your whole army move, even though I can't see you. And I'm like, frick you, faggot. Anyways, I was starting to get a few too many minerals, but I did bring in some units right away. You know, I noticed. And of course, getting my Guardian Shield up right away. I'm trying to split his force in half. It didn't quite work. And the thing I did really wrong here is these immortals are too far in the back. I tried to reposition. See, I'm trying to get those immortals in the front now, and they're taking that damage, and they're really letting the rest of my units deal damage without getting killed first. So that's why those immortals are very important, being able to easily survive. Now, at this point, I'm going to just try and kill him right away. I'm going to try and make a push in and kill him. I'm getting the Zealot Legs researched, as well as I'm getting some more Immortals and just regular army. And now the other option too is you could get out your Robo Bay and start getting into Colossi, and you know, but you can do sort of whatever you want. So notice I'm putting a pylon here, help me warp in units closer to my main army. So I'm just going to camp out here a little bit, wait until I get a few reinforcements, slightly larger army. Especially this immortal is going to be very important, because right now I only have one immortal in my army, because the other one's up in my base. And of course, I am trying to use hotkeys. I've got this on hotkey 4, so that way when I'm not looking I can press 4 and then I to get out that immortal. Not the best hotkey placement in my opinion, but it's, you know, it's better than nothing. And of course this pylon's here now, so remembering to warp in some more units now that my warp gate cooldown is finished. And of course I've been building probes, as you can see, doing quite well on, well, I'm up to 40 probes. I could get a bit more though, for sure, but right now I'm really trying to just sort of kill him off, or at least make a big attack push that will do enough damage that he can't, you know. And really important here, notice how I force fielded. I'm actually going to rewind a little bit. I'm sorry that I wasn't paying attention there. Okay, so with some nice reinforcements showing up, and that immortal's on its way, but whatever. Let's see, do I wait until the immortal gets there or not? I just warped in a bunch more units there, and the immortal's going to get there pretty much. and now I'm moving out. Moved out a little early, and once again my immortals in the back. That's not the best thing to do, but you will notice here, look, I force field that off, and then I move my units away so I'm out of range of them. So now we've got a bunch of units that can't attack me. Huge advantage for me. That's what really makes a difference in this battle. And of course, using a force field, block off any other potential reinforcements. Of course, they didn't have any, but it doesn't really matter. And, you know, in the heat of the battle, I am getting too many units, but you can see I just warped a bunch in right there to bring them down. And also, getting that immortal started as well. So I always want to have more immortals. Now the real neat thing too is you can actually use the chrono boost in the mini-map. So that's what I was actually doing. So I would select my hotkey for my next size, and then I would press C, and then right there is my robo. And of course it wouldn't take me to it because you have chrono boost selected and use it on a mini-map. It just applies to that building. It takes a little bit of practice, but definitely big. It can save you just, you know, a couple seconds, or what's really important is you don't have to look away from your army. And of course I'm still warping units, but notice I also put a pylon a lot further forward because I just needed that, you know, to be able to get my units there a lot faster. So that's another important thing. And of course always building these immortals because I am going for a clean blow right now. So I'm just going to be getting out some immortals. They're really nice strong units, and I've got the income to do that. I'm also going to be warping in some other units, so you can see a bunch of zealots coming in. And so I've got some zealot sentries and some immortals, and I'm going to be pushing up their ramp real soon to kill them. Now the other thing to note too is you never want to assume that you've actually won the game. You don't want to just say, oh, I've won, I can stop doing stuff. You'll actually notice, let me fast forward a bit as I go into here and kill them. You know, I'm not going to take any chances. I'm sending out a probe over here. I'm going to build the next side, or next, because I want to make sure that in case he has extra bases, I didn't even know about that base. You know, I only found out because I sent this guy scouting around all the bases to see where he'd be. So I saw, but you know, for all I know, he could have had 2 more bases, so it's very important that I grab this extra base, especially since I have the minerals and the army size already to do it. So there we go. That was how you fend off the new marauder push. Basically, because he's a very hard AI, very, very, very similar when he does the marine marauder push. It's very similar to the players that I play against and players slightly higher level play than me. So, as you can see with Protoss, it really sucks trying to fight off those marauders early, but you can do it. So I hope that helped everybody. I know this was a bit long, and hopefully I talk loud enough, but I've got roommates sleeping while I'm trying to do this. So, have fun. I really hope this helps because I have to say, as a Protoss player against Terran, it's the most annoying thing to try and fend off that early rush that has marauders in it. It's just brutal. So anyways, have fun playing and win some games.